It's such a pleasure for you to have here at the third annual Rung Film Festival, and I am very excited that your film "A Boy with a Dinosaur Head" is playing tomorrow, Sunday, May 17th. So, how does it feel? I think you've been on a journey of different festivals with this film, right?
Yeah, we're at the. First of all, thank you for having me. This is a great festival. This celebration of Pakistani films and filmmakers. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, we're sort of like in the early middle part of the festival run for this thing through this year of 2026.
Right, right. So, which festivals have you been? Has this movie been there before?
So we did like a technically not a festival screening, but like a preemptive private screening at the MPAC's Hollywood Bureau's
Hollywood Bureau, yeah.
Muslim House at Sundance. So that was like a lovely, first sort of private but public screening of the film with a lot of Muslim filmmakers, and it was fantastic. But our official premiere was at CineQuest in San Jose, California, and that was in March. And then actually this month we're playing here. We're playing in Ireland at the
Wow.
Film Festival. There might be more coming from Ireland too that I can't talk about yet. The Irish are wonderful allies politically, and and then also more to come. There's a few more. I can't remember which ones I'm allowed to be public with yet.
All right, no worries then. So Ali, tell our audiences about the inspiration for this film. I have seen it. I'm sure a lot of the people who will be listening to this haven't seen it. So tell us a little bit about where this idea came from, how it materialized, and how the process was.
Yeah. So this particular film, even though it directly doesn't.
Oh, okay.
A little feedback. I think it's happening when I talk. Maybe I can adjust a little bit. There, maybe that's better.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the where this film started was not too long. I mean, we don't tackle politics directly in the film, but it sort of happened in the kind of emotional space that I think a lot of Muslims were in the U.S. after October 7th, and kind of living in this space where we want to be helpful, but we don't know what being helpful means because we're here. We're not somewhere where we could be more useful. And so it's just in entangling with those issues. And also I had, two small children. My son, who actually titled this film, was only 3 at the time. He woke up with this title, maybe it was like November-ish, saying like, I had a dream about a boy with a dinosaur head. And I was like, what's the story? And he had no story. He's a 3-year-old. He had no story. But what he did have was a title. And I think the emotions that I was feeling in that moment, and being able to welcome my son every morning, healthy and happy and not in danger, those feelings and the emotions of that, I just kind of came together into this particular story where I just focus on the life of a child going through this process,
Right.
somewhere along the process.
Somewhere along the process, yeah.
And then, of course, I had done this fellowship. I was one of the first year of the Pillars Fund Artist Fellowship, and I had a fellow, Imran, who was one of the fellows, Imran Zaidi, wonderful
Very,
director.
very well known fellow.
Yeah, yeah. He did the wonderful film Mustache feature film that won an audience award at
Right.
South by I
South
think
by
23. I think.
2023, right.
And yeah, he he did this wonderful coming of age story. And as a writer, as I'm primarily a writer, I focus a little bit more on genre, mystery, thriller, science fiction, all that kind of stuff. And I thought, you know what, this would be a good pairing where we kind of will bring this wonderful, heartfelt coming of age thing to it, and then I can bring a little bit of mystery and kind of my own angle to it, and I'm very happy with how it turned out as a result.
MashaAllah, very nice. So Ali, tell us about your journey so far. I mean, because a lot of times when we interview filmmakers here at the Rung Film Festival, being a Pakistani American film festival, we face this narrative that my parents wanted me to be a doctor or lawyer or engineer,
Yeah.
and I ended up becoming a filmmaker.
Yeah.
So was your family supportive of this decision, or were you already primed for this industry? Or so tell us a little bit about that.
So so my mother was a writer in Urdu. She's an Urdu writer, and she's I remember when I was very young, we were living in Abu Dhabi for a certain amount of time, and she worked with a local radio producer, and they would kind of put on these radio plays, and which I didn't think anything of at the time, But many years later, I realized that wait, I really like to write, and by then I'm like, knee deep in like website production and doing sorts of very sensible day job stuff, right? And somewhere, but I always wrote in some form or fashion, and then I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna just focus on this a lot more because I really like writing, and I made some goofy little short films and all that kind of stuff. But then I realized, you know what, what I really like is writing. That's my passion. And so I just did more and more of that. I moved to LA. I had some great experiences. I was, accepted into one of the blacklist labs to develop a feature. I was in the Pillars on our Pillars Fund Artist Fellowship. It's been a wonderful experience, and I think by then I was too old for my parents to have anything other than support. So that's the one of the benefits of getting going a little bit later in life is that your parents are not going to tell you what to do.
Right. Great, great, great. So I mean, so I guess it, is in your family,
Yeah.
the visual and performing arts. Um, so Ali, what are you working next? With with this in your pocket and is making the festival run, I'm pretty sure you're working on something.
Mhm. Yeah. You know, the life of a writer in Hollywood is sort of never ending and always an uphill battle.
Hmm.
Especially if you're sort of trying to bridge these worlds, kind of like I try to do in a lot of my work, which is, uh, you know, I'm gonna have, I'm gonna write thrillers and science fiction and fun stuff and all that kind of stuff, but I'm gonna center the brown folks in the story. They're not gonna be the side characters, right? So that comes with its own challenges in Hollywood. Um, even in soft subject matter like the one that's in this film, sometimes you're up against some folks that don't want to be receptive to the humanity of the story being told
Right.
right there, right? So there are other challenges, but I just I love writing. I'm constantly working on stuff, one form or another. I have a particular TV show that's in development with a company, a wonderful company named Leyline. They help produce Everything Everywhere All at Once, but they're on the TV side. I have something that's in works with them, and it's actually a very female South Asian centered science fiction story, which is very unusual, I think, and representative of my own kind of immigrant experience, but in this modern science fiction-y kind of way. So I'm very excited about that. You know, Basically, you just have to keep trying to get irons in the fire, and
Right.
hopefully one of them takes root and sends you skyrocketing.
So you're pretty much set on working in different topics, producing different stories, just centered around the South Asian American community. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, it's mostly South Asian and Muslim in general. I'm very much trying to make sure that we have good Muslim representation. I went to a whole fellowship where we talked about that for like a year. Was that right? And it's very important to me, I think, because Muslims in America have also an uphill battle, regardless of what culture they come from. And I think it's very valuable work to be telling and kind of changing the narrative in our stories, and also taking our reins back. Because one of the things we talked about a lot is how, throughout all of our histories, especially Desi history, we have so many incredible artists, musicians, and all these things that have happened throughout the ages. And then during the process of immigration to the US, we started refocusing on things that help us survive, like being, and there's nothing wrong with this, but being doctors, engineers, like all those kinds of
Right.
jobs.
Right.
And arts has kind of suffered, I think. And so I think organizations, festivals like this, and everything that supports that, bringing us back to our magic, is a good thing.
Yeah, I think the storytelling element of the South Asian diaspora in America or even in India and Pakistan, I think that was one of the key element that we considered in starting Rang Film Festival.
Mhm.
That when it comes to telling our own stories in our environment, like India and Pakistan were good, right? We have Bollywood on the other side, we have Lollywood on this side, and the TV industry and all that. So what would that look like when we come to the US? So therefore the Hollywood Bureau, MPAC, and all these initiatives that have been there. So being here for the first time at the Rang Film Festival, uh, give us your feedback. I know it's only been less than 24 hours for you,
Yeah.
but well, what did you feel? How did you see things? How are you enjoying your time, or if you're enjoying your time?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I just got here last night, and I'm looking forward. I mean, we're just getting underway with the films, and I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. And then also, in at least one case, seeing somebody's work who I recognize, which is great. Um, and the community and the fact that this is happening. And in one of the largest South Asian towns in America, in Houston, which I've never been to before, so I'm very happy to be here.
Oh,
And
is this your first time to
first
Houston?
time in Houston, yes. So
Oh,
I'm
wow.
very excited to eat and look around. um, but yeah, it's a warm space. I love it. I love it, and I'm excited about these 2 days that we have.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I really hope and we'll do anything in our capacity to make your stay enjoyable. And if this is your first time, Houston, I'm sure it's not going to be the last time.
Yeah.
And enjoy the festival and wish you all the best. And we'll continue these conversations very soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Ali. Wonderful.